all set for our next module, which is about strings. It's a very interesting topic. So let's cover one by one. So I have lots of things to discuss. So first one is we will talk about how to create string. What is this string, right? So creating strings will be our first topic. Okay, and now a string, I think I would have already mentioned this before during the starting modules, right? So anything in between double quote, single quotes, all of that. So let's look at these things in detail. So there are three ways in which how you can actually write strings. So for example, so single quote strings. So they look something like, okay, hello, right? So so these are called single quotes, right? So the one that looks like this, in between this you can write a string, right? Or it can also be a double quote string. So double quote strings, so you can put double and this, right? Or it could be a triple quote string. So triple quote strings, right? So this is like more like you put this three quotes like this, and then you put hello inside it, and then you close it, you run this. So what you have is, let's say you have single quote strings, it will give you this. If you put double quote strings, it will also give you this, and if you do a triple quote strings, you can do this as well, right? So ideally, when do you use single quote, double quote, right? So I would always recommend to use double quote. So this one is used mostly if you have like a sentences, right? So this triple quote, so for example, these are also called multi-line like strings, right? So multi-lines, let's say multi-line string. So you want to write some kind of a long paragraph, right? So what you can do is, so this is line 1 in my story, right? So this is line 2 in my story, right? So you can write like a multi-line string as well. So this triple quotes is mostly used in this multi-line paragraphs, all of this. Okay, so that's how you can access it. So you can see this n is nothing but a new line, right? Because every time there's a new line, so it gives you that line as well. Okay, so that is about creating a string. Okay, so now that we have created a string, so just like we have accessed the list, you can also access the characters in a string. So let's see how you can actually do it. So you can accessing, so character, I'm just calling it char. So yes, so let's see how you can actually access. It's very simple or very similar to what we have done in the lists module, right? So for example, you have single quote strings, and then if you access the 0th element of that string, which is nothing but your h, if you try to access the next element, so this is nothing but your e. Very simple, right? So you can access it via using this indexing, so this kind of a list indexing itself. Okay, now another very similar to what we saw in the list is slicing, right? So remember slicing the bread, right? So which we have already done, right? So 3 is slicing a string. So let's see how you can actually do that as well. It's very simple. Again, you take a single quote string, and let's say you want till the third character, right? You put colon and 3, you get this. If you want the fourth character also, you put 4 and you get the slicing of this string. Or if you want to do the same thing for your multi-line, right? So multi-line string, I want to look at the first 10 characters, right? So you just put 10, so you get this is L, right? So if you want like 15 characters, you get this, right? So just to figure out, right? So till the nth character. Okay, and another thing is again, so just recalling it, negative indexing. So here also you can use your negative indexing that we have learned. So negative indexing, so wherever you are looking for like a last character, you can just put, so yes, for example, So let's use double quote string this time. Double quote string, put -1, then you do it, then you get your last letter of this double quote string, which is nothing but O, right? So hello, last letter was O. Okay, so these are very similar to what we have done in the lists, right? So now let's say you have you want to combine two strings. Okay, so how do we do it? So it's very simple. So just like you add two numbers, you can add two strings also. So this is called string concatenation. Okay, so basically you are trying to combine. That's what concatenate stands for, right? So combine, that's all, right? So let's see how you can do it. Very simple. So let's say hello, and then you add plus symbol, then put world, then run it. You see it added both of them, right? So we want to add space in between. You can also add that space as a quote and then run it. You can actually see hello plus space plus world gives you this type of an output. You can keep adding to it. So plus, you want to put an exclamatory mark, it will add exclamatory mark towards the end. So hello world. So you are able to concatenate strings as well, right? So very simple. Then you can do things like, for example, you can do a repetition, right? So this is a very funny one, right? So repetition, for example, so string repetition is nothing but you want to repeat a string multiple times. Okay, repetition. Okay, now string repetition is nothing but, let's say you have a letter ha. Okay, and then you want to multiply it by thrice, see what happens. See, ha ha ha, right? So you can do it like string repetitions as well. You want to put a space, then you can put a space and then run it again as well, right? So quite funny, isn't it? You can do multiplication plus then do an addition also. It will still work. Quite crazy, isn't it? So ha 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 space and then exclamatory mark, right? So this is a part of string repetition. Then if you remember, we also did find out the length of a list. So same thing you can also do here. So which is nothing but string length. So string length, same length function. So let's say I have the word hello inside a variable x, hello, right? Now I want to access the length of x. If you put length of x, it will automatically give you, so there are 5 characters, so 5. If I give a space here and then run this, you can actually see it will change the value to 6 because there is an extra character. So that is what string is. Then so this was our number 7. We'll put 7 here. And what else you can, so last couple of things, so which is you can actually check a few things, right? For example, let's say I want to check a few things, right? So I just want to check if there's something inside my string. So for example, so this is called checking substrings. So hello world is a string, okay, but inside hello world the content can be, so for example, hello world is a string, isn't it? Now inside this you have a lot of substrings, right? So what is a substring? So any tiny part of a string. So for example, he, this is a substring. hello, this is also a substring, right? Or you can call world, this is also a substring. So substring is nothing but a part of the main string, right? What is a substring? String which is a part of the main string. Okay, now so I have a variable x is equals to hello world. Now you can actually check print if hello is inside x. You run this and look at this, it says true. And let's see if it actually gives this. You see, so sometimes you have to pay very keen attention onto this. So here you see it's the same word, right? So just we change the uppercase of H to lowercase, then it says it didn't match. Okay, so just be very careful whenever you are doing this. If I do a space in X, even that is also true, because there is a space character in between hello and world. So you can check these kind of substrings as well. So one last topic in strings is you can do some string modifications, right? So these are called string methods. So last one is string methods, or you can also call string functions, whatever you find it comfortable to use. Now the string functions are also practically very useful. For example, let's say I have a name. So name, let's say AVID, name, right? Now I want to convert this name to a lowercase letter. So you can just do name dot lower. It will automatically turn this entire uppercase into lowercase, right? So you can do the reverse also. Like let's say I have a reverse David, and then instead of doing lower, then this time do it name dot upper, right? So now check this, it will automatically convert your name to upper, right? So there are a lot more other functions. You can check about replace, you can check about strip, right? And there is also join, there is also split, right? So join is another important one if you want to read about it, right? So join is so I would recommend you to check join, the applications of join. So whenever you are working with lots of characters, some string manipulations, so join is also very useful. Join, strip, split, right? I can name a few, replace, right? So all of these right, so whenever, so these are basically depending on the use case, right? So depending on your use case, you have to use all of these functions. There are lots of string functions. And finally, which is something that I've already covered, so which is f strings, so which is our final topic. You can check the previous tutorial as well if you have already watched the previous tutorial carefully. So then you already know it. String formatting. So one example is the f string, right? So I personally use f strings quite a lot, even during my job as well, right? So very useful. So these f strings are also there in SQL as well, right? So by the way, so f string, as we already knew, you pick any variable, you put some variable inside, and then you try to print that f string, my name is, instead of putting David, right? If you run this, you'll automatically get it, right? So, but what if I want to pass the name? You can pass the name using an f string, right? So you pass the variable, it will automatically change based on whatever you have, right? If you put Sachin, so hi, my name is Sachin. So that is how you can actually format strings as well. So that's all for this module. See you in the next one.